beep, beep. What is up, ninjas? My name is Sam World, and my goal with today's video is to inspire you guys to the point where you exit right now, midway, or at the end of the video, and you start making music with what you got. Because today we're going to be talking about one of the best bedroom producers at the moment by the name of Finneas. Now, he's usually referred to as Billie Eilish's brother, but we're not going to speak that name in this video just to respect the man, Finneas. We're going to call him Finneas. Now, over the weekend, we had the Grammys where Finneas won Producer of the Year, as well as Best Engineered Album, and both of these are for non-classical, which I don't understand that part. His sister, who must not be named, won Album of the Year, Best Vocal Pop Album, Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Best Pop Solo Performance for a lot of her work this year, so she killed it. But it's safe to say he also killed it. Now, the crazy thing about all of this, guys, is that this music was probably made in the studio that doesn't look as nice as yours. You guys got these LED lights lighting up your rooms like you're at a damn rave and whatnot. And then their studio looks very simplistic, very normal, very dusty, dirty. It makes me feel good about the mess I have in my studio. I ain't kidding. Got a messed up floor, some rat poop. I ain't even kidding about that. These cunts got in. Some broken glass from when my lights fell. Some moldy black coffee because I'm always in here. I never go to the kitchen. And some Glade for them bombs I produce in here. If you know what I mean. Goes to show that you don't really need a lot of aesthetics, guys. Just a laptop, some decent monitors, and a sister that can whisper into the mic so that you can also be as good as him. But today, guys, I do want to go over this YouTube video, give my reaction to it. And the video goes over where he produces his music, and this was released in April 2, 2019. So before he got the Grammys and whatnot. But in this video, he goes over his home studio, his process, and I just wanted to react to it and kind of shine light on some of the things he has and what things are expensive or whatnot. There's a little bit of hatred going on Facebook about this video because some people are saying he has expensive gear, while other people are saying that's not expensive. It's actually very basic stuff, but we're going to react to it. And again, the purpose of this video is hopefully to inspire you to just be like, you know what? I can do it with what I got already. I don't need to go to the Pirate Bay. So there's Finneas playing the piano. I had to fast forward a bit because there's a lot of backstory and you guys can watch that. But this is where we want to be at, right here.
The way I want any home studio to function is like I want it all to be like as fast as I can think of an idea. I want to be able to articulate it.
Now, this is the perfect spot to pause the video because we can kind of glance at what he has in his studio. Now, I do want to say on YouTube comments and Facebook comments, there were a couple people hating, saying how his studio's not bedroomy enough. And I don't know what the hell they mean by that. Like, nah, he don't have a Scarlett 2 Y'all know how it is. He has a universal audio sound card, man. That ain't bedroom studio producer. Trying to take away from the fact that the guy has a very minimal setup. He has 2 fucking monitors, man. That ain't bedroom producer status. Bro. Everything he has here is very accessible if you save your money or if you just want to run that way. I don't run 2 monitors just because I don't have room for it. I don't have a universal audio card because I'm not recording his sister in my room, which I wish I was. If she was my sister, I wouldn't be here. Now, at first glance, the first thing I noticed are the monitors, which look like Yamaha HS5s or Mackeys. I can't tell. But he has the RLX foam pads, which is the first piece of acoustical equipment any bedroom producer is gonna get. Best 40 bucks I've spent so my desk don't vibrate. He also doesn't have the monitor set up properly like a lot of us, and he's not even using a dedicated, legit, like bedroom producer studio desk. He's using his desk where it looks like the TV went in the middle, one of those old school ones, and then the VCRs on top and all that. But anyways, with the monitors, you always want to have an equilateral triangle, guys. But again, the guy's not even running it perfectly. Now, down the middle, we do have a MIDI controller and a Kai LPK, which is a very entry-level one, which works if that's all you really need. He does have that lacy hard drive there for his torrented samples. Just kidding with that. We do have the MIDI keyboard to the left, which looks very bougie. I don't know what it is. Looks like maybe a Native Instruments control keyboard. Can't tell, but it definitely looks a little expensive and whatnot. Obviously, his sound card is expensive from the looks. But again, what I feel like is he upgraded over the years, guys. If you made a hit, you'll treat yourself. You might run a PC and then you're like, I don't want to be bougie. I'll run an Apple. I'll take a bite out of the Apple.
Bathroom and striking all these matches.
We don't care. You recorded it. Just you.
I'll sit and watch your car burn.
Oh, look at that face, bro. That's how you know he's a bedroom producer, man. When the 808 just hits right and it tickles your butt a little, you're just like, It's also nice to know that a lot of those things he was recording are considered Foley. So if you're ever looking for Foley samples, you can head over to Splice. Just look them up. Foley is a great way to make your drums more interesting. You can accentuate your boring 909, 808 snare by adding some Foley shots here and there, or you can get unique with it as well. But that's considered Foley, guys, and I've made a video on how you can utilize it to make stuff interesting in your songs. Pretty cool, in my opinion, that they kind of use that a lot in their music.
With the fire
He's
that
feeling
you
it, though.
started in me, but you never came back to ask it out.
I'll sit here and she'll be like right there, and I'll just bring the microphone over to where she is. And
We don't care, man. We care about you. Where do you sit?
Every vocal for the entire album sitting on my bed, like with her legs crossed. It's kind of insane.
Legs go. Oh, shit. He can sing. I swear, man. Bedroom producer and bedroom singer. Best there is.
Being born when I was born, and you know, just being able to afford a computer and Logic Pro, just being afforded the opportunities I was afforded, living in LA, you know, making music, being homeschooled, having time in the day
MPK
to make
Mini.
all that music. It was just this like gift that I was given of sort of time and resources. And I chopped that up into this crazy sample pad.
They're using a sampler. Feeling it, dancing to it. That's how it should be. So yeah, I mean, he definitely has some, looks like, fancy stuff that we wouldn't have. But again, you don't need that, guys. Scarlet 2i2 gang, baby. I have a Scarlet 2i2 recording this. You don't really need that unless you're recording and you really want to get good recordings. But I think it's pretty cool, the message that is being portrayed throughout the video on the idea that, again, you don't really need a lot to make good music. We do have a little bit of consumerism in the music production world where you kind of feel like you need that next plugin or that compressor in order to get that sound you want. But at the end of the day, you already have everything you need if you own a good DAW. Everything else is just luxury, like having a nice little third-party VST synth, effects. That's just luxury. Yeah, it might sound a little better, but at the end of the day, you guys got to think about it from the consumer standpoint. That girl twerking to your little hip-hop song at the club ain't going to give a about the SSL compressor that you put on the master of your song. You got to think about it that way, guys, you know, because it's very easy to kind of think you're not good enough and then start to feel like you need to buy plugins to get better, when in all reality you just need to keep making music and have a little bit more confidence in sí mismo, in yourself.
Limit myself as much as I can just to see how much I
Clip
can
it,
get
man.
out of each individual thing. So I tried never to look at it growing up as like, I don't have a Mellotron, I don't have this. First of all,
Exactly,
it's really great
baby.
plugin, so I always
There you
thought
go.
I kind of did. But just whatever I had, I was like, I've got this. Oh, to make the chorus more impactful, I added the sound of an RPG going off. That's ridiculous, but sounds great.
I should tell people not to do that, but it works for him. Now here's another one, the Rolly C keyboard. Now I'm sure he didn't have this back then because these things they're expensive for what they are. I guess you could slide your finger up and down the keys, but I could do that on the normal keyboard, like slide my finger up and down. But it records MIDI, so if you want to accentuate or increase the velocity or add a bit of vibrato, you can program it with this keyboard, which is pretty cool. But again, it's just a luxury. You can always automate it yourself as well. Now, before he brought out that very expensive finger swiping MIDI keyboard, he did talk a little bit about lusting over gear and how he essentially had the same sound with plugins. I think what he meant to say was the fact that a lot of us want to have like a real Moog synthesizer, but having something like the Arturia Mini V3 can give you the same exact sound. Again, a lot of us like to kind of pick at the little things, but at the end of the day, it does give you that same sound, and a lot of people, the consumers, again, won't be able to tell the difference. There's no greater feeling than hitting that D on the Moog, because they'll feel it. They'll feel it on the dance floor. Oh yeah.
Beneath your shirt.
So there he goes, finger
There's
swiping
a
and
crazy
stuff.
intimacy, I think, to what we're doing. There's such a kind of a like private.
And he has the
feeling to
headphones.
what
Y'all
we're
know you
doing
got the
because
same
we're
Audio
not
Technica
at a
headphones, man.
recording
Very
studio
popular.
where different people are there every day, and people are down the hall. Like, it's our house, and it's where we live, and it's where we have experienced everything. That allows us to make some kind of music.
Now I'm going to end the video here, guys, because he just goes on to talk a little bit more about his influences and why he likes to produce where it's at, and a little bit more story behind the branding of the whole work he's done with his sister. Now, personally, me, I feel like every great artist out there always has a story behind the brand. For instance, I could talk about Fisher being that guy at the frat parties, getting down. You just want to hang out with him. Well, we got people like Selena Gomez, Justin Bieber drama going on. And of course, it just lights up the music. It's no longer music, but it's music with a story behind it. And I find that is super cool. And again, I really enjoyed watching this video. It inspired me to just be like, you know what? It's time to make some music. Now, there is another interview he has at Pensado's Place, which was released 6 months ago, which I definitely warrant a watch. Essentially because, again, the same theme, the same message keeps being played in the sense that you see it and it just relates so much to you, in the idea that he releases music and he always wants to change stuff. He always wants to de-ess the vocals more or do something differently. It goes to show that making a song, all you need is a good idea. It doesn't really have to be perfect, because chasing perfection, it kind of doesn't exist. Every producer is going to want to do something a little bit differently. Like I might decide to go in with a drop with a big ass kick, while you might decide to do a hip hop 808 pattern to a certain idea. At the end of the day, music is very subjective. It's an art form, and it doesn't need to be perfect in order to get the message, in order to get good vibes to the people that you want to reach. And finally, guys, Finneas has worked with a mixing engineer by the name of Rob Kinelski, and he has an interview at waves.com. I'll make sure to leave the link in the description for that. But in there, he goes on to say how essentially he mixed the song and he thought it sounded good, but it was out of the norm. He didn't have a reference track to compare it to. So he was a bit scared he would get slammed on Gear Sluts, which is a big mixing forum. But it goes to show, sometimes just go with